In 1974, Wichita, Kansas, was shattered by a new kind of predator. He didn't just kill, he documented, he taunted, he named himself BTK. Bind, torture, kill. And then, after a decade of terror, he fell silent. For 17 years, there was only silence. Detectives retired, files gathered dust. A new generation grew up hearing the name BTK as a ghost story. But the killer wasn't gone. He was waiting. And the world was about to change in a way he couldn't comprehend. While BTK slept, a revolution happened. The internet went from a military tool to a public square. Communication became instant, traceable, and forever. A killer who mastered the analog world of letters and payphones was about to step onto a digital stage lined with invisible tripwires. In 2004, a letter arrived at a Wichita TV station. It was BTK. After 17 years, his ego could no longer bear the anonymity. He wanted credit. He wanted a dialogue. But this time, the rules of the game had changed. In a breathtaking display of arrogance, BTK emailed the police directly. He asked a technical question. If he used a floppy disk, could he be traced? The Wichita PD, now aided by the FBI, gave the only answer that mattered. No, it was a lie. He took the bait. BTK left a floppy disk at a public library. He believed the police. He believed he was untouchable. On that disk was a digital signature he never intended to leave. Forensic analysts examined the disk's metadata, the invisible data about the data. A document on the disk was last saved by Dennis. It was modified on a computer registered to Christ Lutheran Church. In a stroke of staggering carelessness, BTK had handed them a name and a place. The pieces snapped together with terrifying speed. Dennis Rader, a municipal compliance officer. A former ADT security installer, a job that would teach him how to bypass home alarms. A church council president, a father, a neighbor. The perfect camouflage. The final proof came from his daughter's pap smear, obtained via a covert medical subpoena. Her DNA provided a familial match to the 1970s evidence. The ghost had a daughter. The daughter had a father. The father was the monster. On the 25th of February 2005, Dennis Rader was pulled over on his way to work. There was no dramatic chase, no final stand. The capture of one of America's most cunning serial killers was a quiet traffic stop, the banality of evil personified. For hours, he confessed in chilling, emotionless detail. He referred to his victims as projects. His motive wasn't rage or passion, but a need for control, for a twisted form of recognition. The shadow was just a man, a hollow, pathetic man. BTK was caught by his own ego, yes, but more precisely, he was caught by the digital age he failed to understand. His case closed the book on the analog serial killer and wrote the first chapter on a new era of forensic detective work where every click leaves a footprint.